My name's Tony Maraldi. I am the Director of Technical Services for Somerset Hardwood Flooring, and today we'd like to give you a tour of one of our sawmills and our hardwood floor manufacturing facilities. The first step in the sawmilling process is to first debark the log and then place the log in a head rig to cut it into individual planks. The rough planks then have to be ripped to width, and the rip saw operator enters his evaluation of that plank into the computer for the rip saw to then rip the best yield out of that plank. Once the sawing of each plank is complete, each plank is visually graded. The grader is one of the most important people in the entire operation. Once the grader assigns a grade, a drop sort system automatically sorts the boards by grade, species, and size. From this point, we will now go visit our hardwood flooring manufacturing mill where we utilize much of the lumber we just saw being produced. Hardwood floor manufacturing begins with green lumber, which comes to us at approximately 80% moisture content, so the drying process takes quite a bit of time, typically beginning with air drying for approximately 90 to 120 days to reduce the lumber down to a moisture content where we can then place it in a kiln for further drying. The first and most important part of air drying is to place the lumber on what we call on sticks, or place stickers between the layers of lumber so that air can flow freely to dry the lumber in a shorter period of time. Here we're entering a dry kiln, which is the next step after air drying, and at this point we're drying the lumber down to a final moisture content of 6 to 9%, which is a workable moisture content both for manufacturing and for application in a customer's home. Something that Somerset also considers very important is recovery of our wood waste for the purpose of generating our own heat for kilns and pre-dryers, which is generated through a wood waste fired boiler system, so that we're wisely utilizing all the resources that we obtain from our vendors of lumber and timber. At this point, kiln dried lumber is ready for processing into flooring. So we load the lumber onto the production line using what's called a tilt hoist to separate the layers of the pack and put individual pieces into production. At this point, we have planed a piece of lumber to a consistent thickness, and the next step will be to rip it to a consistent width. The lumber is ripped using a straight line rip saw to achieve a consistent width so that we have our flooring blanks that we need to make specific widths of flooring. At this point, a board is ready to be what we call side matched, which is to mill the tongue and the groove on the long edges of the boards, as well as to smooth or plane the face flat, and also cut hollow grooves in the back of the piece to create what will be our first look at a piece of flooring. We now have a piece of flooring with a smooth face and hollow back, and the side tongue and groove are cut. We need to mill the end tongue and then the end groove. Two separate machine centers will cut first an end tongue, and then the piece is transferred across the production line and the end groove is cut on the left-hand side. The next step in the process is grading of the milled piece of flooring, primarily for color and appearance. The graded flooring is directed to individuals who then make up nested packs of flooring that can be transported to the finish room for finishing in different colors and different items. Somerset sells both factory finished and unfinished flooring to the marketplace, and this particular packaging is characteristic of our unfinished flooring package. We're now ready to apply a factory finish to this flooring. The first step is to load the flooring onto the production line and sand the individual pieces of flooring for smooth finish. Typically, the first coating that's applied to any flooring is a stain. All Somerset coatings are UV curable solids, UV referring to ultraviolet light cure, which cures each coating in a matter of seconds. The next step in the process is a coat of filler to fill in the grain. The next step in our coatings package is a coat of sealer. Once we've got the fillers and sealers applied and fully cured, we abrade the flooring so that the top coats will stick to the existing finish. We then apply 3 separate layers of top coat for a nice final finished appearance.